This is Umar for BoxNation, and the Hurt game is finally here. I just said this to Ant. I've literally spoke to him a minute ago. So out of that initial DAZN and Queensbury schedule, for a lot of fight fans, this was the one because it's two guys at the top of their game. It's two guys who know how to punch, who know how to fight, who know how to dig deep. And at times it has to be a firefight. This Saturday night live on DAZN. Leigh Wood, you've just had the first face-off of the week with Anto. Take anything away from that or not?
No, just we're very similar, you know. We don't really need to talk crap and do anything out of the ordinary to build the fight. We do exactly what you just said there. You know, we're both late all on the line every time. Both can fight, box, dig deep. So we're both very similar, quite respectful in person. It's actually quite awkward sometimes because like you start smirking and we both start laughing, but don't be fooled because come Saturday night, you know, when that bell goes, it's on.
Absolutely. It's called the Hurt game for a reason. Leigh, if you just hold your mic up slightly. There we go. Perfect. It's funny you mentioned that. I literally walked into the hotel 15 minutes ago. You were at the desk. He was also in the lobby. And you had a little exchange, but it was all respectful. We made a little joke. But you can't force hate or trash talk, really, if it's not there.
No, we both want to win really bad. And we both know that all of that is irrelevant to fight night. We're both, like I said, both quite similar. We both know we can hate each other as much as we want. You know, when we get into that ring is when it counts, not outside the ring. So why waste energy? Why waste anything at all? Because we're going to need everything to get the victory of the lamb.
So Leigh, we're in your hometown, your home patch, Nottingham. You're staying at the hotel. Some may have thought you would have just stayed at home. So explain that to me.
Yeah, so since I've been boxing professional, I headlined in Nottingham and small hall bills, you know, Clifton Arena and Rushcliffe Arena. I always stayed in a hotel. The reason being is I thought I'd get into that routine of fight week, being out of my comfort zone, being in a hotel, getting through that whole process and just getting used to that process of doing it that way. So that when I box away, it won't be out of the norm. 30 fights in and I still stick to that routine. I think it switches me on. Being in a hotel, you know, it's fight week. I've been here before. This is what I do and just used to it now, mate, to be honest. And it switches me on and gets me through that routine for fight week to get it done.
Okay, I hear that. So I just said this to Anto as well. The fact that you two have come into your best years right at the end, not the end of your career, but very late on, I should say, is quite an inspiration, I think, to a lot of fighters who maybe tout for big things, doesn't go their way, and they may give up. But if you look at Leigh Wood and Anthony Cacace, it's just a sign to keep going. And as I said, both of you are, you could argue, in the primes of your career. The journey you went on, though, from being that guy just in the opposite corner, when you beat Kanzu, that opened up a lot of doors, and the names you beat, you became arguably, if not the most exciting fighter in Britain. The journey's been wildly, and it carries on in front of a packed Nottingham arena. I mean, this is the stuff of dreams that you've done over the last few years.
Yeah, you know, as a 12-year-old boy boxing and watching my heroes do the same thing, sometimes it's quite surreal. But like you just said, I've earned it. You know, I've done it the hard way, and I've come through a lot of adversity, defeats and injuries, and having nothing and money, living at home. Rewind probably 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 5 years now. I was living at home with my mom at 30 years old, and if you look at an athlete from any sport, even boxing, but mainly football and other things, and you say, you know, he's 30 years old, he's not done nothing yet. What do you think he's going to do? They'll probably say, you know, he's going to do nothing. If he's not done nothing by 30, he's probably not going to do anything. And I feel like I'm a kind of a similarity to like the boxing version of Vardy. You know, I've done I've had all my success later on. My old coach used to say to me, when your physical peak and experience both align, that's when you're at your best. And I feel that's where I am right now.
Okay, that's good to hear. Those extra £4, obviously it's your first fight at super featherweight. Going to make much of a difference or not? How are you feeling at this point?
Yeah, I probably feel the same because I used to really struggle to make featherweight. But if I'd have put too much size on and then done it the same weight, super featherweight, it'd have been exactly the same. So I'm probably walking around a similar weight to what I was making featherweight, but I haven't got to do such a drastic cut. I still got a way to go. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big super featherweight, but I was ridiculous for featherweight. So I'll be feeling better on fight night. I know that. Right now, probably feeling similar, but on fight night, I'll be feeling a lot fresher, a lot bigger. We'll be able to answer that after the fight.
Okay. But it should be an advantage. Something I do want to bring up to you, Leigh, it has been noted throughout the build-up to this fight, is the inactivity, the 19 months. Obviously, you're not a spring chicken either. So he's been on a very good roll with those wins over Cordina and Warrington. So that inactivity, how much, if you look at it now, honestly, how much do you think that will play or not play into Saturday night?
I don't think it will. For some fighters it might, but not for me. I'm just like one of them kids that's always in the gym. So when I'm not in the ring, I'm in the gym. Whether that's doing what I can do when I've had some bad injuries, but I'm always in the gym. Remember rocking up to bench gym pretty much on crutches one time, doing some shadow boxing. They all looked at me like, "What is he doing here?" And I'm coming like limping and when I had a bad elbow.
Why did you do that?
I'm always in it. I don't know. I always find a reason to do something and a reason not to. It's like I've had things go off in my life. A long trail of history and training. Like I've had personal things happen in my life. I train. I had injuries. I train. I ruptured my bicep completely. I did half marathon a few weeks after that, which is another story, which is quite funny. But like I always look at a reason to do something and a reason not to, and that's what's given me such longevity in the sport, because I've just kept fit and stayed in the gym, stayed active. Some people only train when they get fights, and look at the gaps in between fights they must have. They're playing catch up, whereas me, I'm always progressing, I'm always getting better, I'm always working on something.
Okay. When you break this down stylistically, and I've said to both of you, there will be times surely where you do meet in the middle of the ring and have it off essentially. But aside from that, how do you break this fight down?
I don't want to talk in riddles, so I'm not going to. But I know exactly what I want to do. I know him quite well. I know the tendencies that he's got, and I know where I'll be able to exploit him, and I know what I need to do. I know exactly how to go about this fight. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because this is boxing. Things happen. But I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm confident in doing it. And after the fight, all being well, I can talk you through what happened.
Fair enough. That southpaw style, he's quite rangy, he's quite tall. Just talk to me about that, preparing for a southpaw.
Yeah, he's got broad shoulders, quite rangy. He's mainly orthodox, but he does switch. I'm prepared for him. But Anto's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. You look at his recent form, the Cordina stoppage, the Warrington win, very active. So I'm just hoping I get the recognition, all being well, I get the win on Saturday night. I want the recognition, because everybody's been saying the weight's going to be a problem. He's a lot bigger than you. You've been inactive for 19 months. All these things people are saying. I want to say, you know what? After all that, everyone wrote you off with all the things going against you. I want my props.
You truly believe you'll be the first man to stop Anthony Cacace?
Yeah.
And how much will that Nottingham effect, I call it a Nottingham effect because I've been there and seen it, when you've had to dig so deep, especially against Michael Conlan, that sticks out vividly to me. But genuinely, people won't understand it if they haven't been in that atmosphere, and especially if they haven't been in your situation. But if it does get deep, you always find a way. And how much will that crowd play a factor? They may
have to play a massive part in this fight. They may not. If everything goes to plan, I think I'm gonna look good in this fight. But by hook or by crook, is what they say. If things go sideways, I always find a way to win, and they could possibly be the telling factor if the fight goes that way to get over the line. But I'm extremely disciplined and confident in my approach to this fight. I know exactly what I need to do. I'm going to go out and do it. I'm going to go out and do it and look good.
Well, listen, this Saturday night, live on DAZN, it is the Hurt game. It's two fantastic boxers. It's two dynamite punchers. And it is Leigh Wood in his hometown. Anthony Cacace v Leigh Wood this Saturday, live on DAZN. It won't disappoint. Tune in. And Leigh, I'll speak to you post-fight.
Thank you, mate.
Queensbury, the biggest fights
and the biggest nights.
Home of champions.
home of knockouts.
There's no way back from this!
The home of the future.
And this is
The
it!
global home of boxing.
Queensbury, exclusively on design.